Okay, y'all, so let's get into this video. So here's a couple of things I want to talk about. And let me start by saying this. Someone said to me today that they think Triple H needs to go. I said to that person, and we talked about this before, I made mentions of it some videos ago, about the possibility of who would replace Triple H. Now, I would say this. I do not know everybody who's behind the decision making and what type of team they have, who they rely on, because a lot of times you only hear things about the more noticeable faces, but then you find out some years later that there was someone who was a part of a creative process that had ideas that they believed in, but maybe they didn't have the final say so. So let's just say, for example, there could be someone involved that Triple H takes advice from. Like, hey, I'm thinking about this angle and I want to do this, but I'm having trouble figuring out how it should end or what. I'm just saying it could be anything like that. And that person may say, hey, you know what? Then why don't you do this, this, and that? And then whatever. Or maybe have somebody come to him and say, hey, I was thinking about this and that, and then Triple H put his twist on it. Who knows? Okay, anyways. So the person says to me that, well, I don't really know. Now, this guy says he thinks it's probably going to be between Bruce Pritchard or Paul Heyman. We talked about this a couple of months ago, because there was still complaints about Triple H and what he's been doing for a while now. It's not like this just happened. Now, I'm going to give you my thoughts on this. And, it could be the case. But I'm going to tell you why I really don't think that it's going to make a difference even if it happens. Paul Heyman is 60 years old. Bruce Pritchard is 62. If you look at Bruce Pritchard from playing Brother Love and, the territories that he was in and just all of these different things that he was in and whatever his backstage role has been throughout the time. You look at Paul Heyman, the Dangerous Alliance was the most notable thing I remember him from in the old NWA days, and of course what he did in ECW. If you look at Paul Heyman right now, he himself on his on-screen character is just the same character with just different people. He's the same guy right now that he was with Brock Lesnar, with Roman Reigns. It's just the same recycled thing. Only it was something about him saying Brock Lesnar that he thought that he just had to say it that way. But everything has just been the same thing. He's a manipulator and he used people for himself to stay on the top. Okay, so that's his on-screen character. I use these people, and together we get to a certain destination. Who can I help next? And that's basically how it goes with him. Maybe this guy could use Paul Heyman. This is why when you look at now, I don't know what he thinks is a good idea and what doesn't. So we don't know. People talk about things backstage. They do things that they might be against. Or they feel like, you know what, I feel like it would have been better if I did this, because let's just be real. Seth Rollins didn't need him. For what? For what? What did what did Paul Heyman bring to that little group? Nothing. And even with Braun Breaker and the fat partner, what's happening with this crew? Nothing. Now, if the belief is that Bruce Pritchard will get it, here's one of the problems that they all have in common. They don't bring back the elements of wrestling that made wrestling special. They look for commercial success. Can I get you on commercials? Can I get you in a movie? Can we, type of things, everything other than pro wrestling. So they look at certain talent and say, I think that guy got potential or she has potential. Does that make the storylines better? You can sit and swap wrestlers, but the writing is terrible. Is Paul Heyman or Bruce Pritchard going to say, hey, Are they going to be able to convince TKO that, hey, man, these prices are too much. We got to bring these prices down. Hey, people used to come out here and bring their families, man. It's getting too expensive. That's another reason. We're not giving good product, and everything's too costly. And there's too much going on in this world where people can't afford this. Greed is going to be the downfall of WWE. In the long run, their own stubbornness and their ignorance. Because once you become a multimillionaire and you have other things that you can fall on and do as well, is go to other little smaller promotions and help out there, or whatever it may be. They don't worry. They don't have the same concerns as a person, making $50,000, $60,000 a year or something like that, or lower. Okay, even $100,000 a year. They don't have those same concerns. All right. I saw some tweets on X, and basically Nick Khan was saying that economically everything is perfect from the WWE because the prices match the inflation. Wow. So everybody has to deal with inflation. So the same people that used to be able to afford your show can't now. And the people that can afford it, it's like, I'm not paying that much for no ticket. For what? For what? Okay? I don't think Bruce Pritchard, I don't think Paul Heyman or anybody else fixed the problem. And it may very well be one of them that they pick. And that's if they replace Triple H. We don't know that that's going to happen. So I'm not jumping on anybody's bandwagon and say, oh, Triple H is out here. I don't know that. And neither do you. And we can assume, and we could assume right. But I don't see that problem being fixed. Plus, Paul Heyman and Bruce Pritchard are out of touch as well. The same things that they think work. It's like I told you, people think in other words, let me put it to you like this. You could take Hangman Adam Page and Samoa Joe right now, and you can give them a program. Or let's take somebody like Josh Alexander, who's never been to WWE. You could take those two right now. Because I've seen it with MJF and Adam Page. And you had the Bully Rays of the world, the Booker T's, the people, they need to come to WWE, right? They can take the same exact segment, the same words, this everything. And if they put it on a WWE program, somehow it's golden. The same exact situation. But because it's coming from the competition, let's try to act like it doesn't really matter. We know Bubba Ray and all of them are nothing but opportunists, because if they found a home in AEW, they'd be right back. They smashed and trashed TNA after they left it and came right back, okay, several times. So that's what that's about. I don't see any of them making any significant changes. I don't see Adam Pearce. I don't see Nick Aldis. They're the two most irrelevant on-screen general managers I've ever seen in the history of Raw, SmackDown, presenting individuals as general managers. They do much of nothing. Just a bunch of backstage segments of a bunch of, every time you see them, there's something's wrong with them. They have an attitude. They're stressed out. They do nothing. They don't get involved in matches. They don't do anything. They're useless. Okay. So even if that would be the case, I don't see any changes. Okay, let's look at something too. Okay. In my last video, I pointed out, look at the women's division and who's there. Okay, well, right now we know people have taken donations up for Jamaica and Haiti. I'm one of the people, and people have been sending money and food and things like that. And you notice Jade Cargill now is talking about her Jamaican side, and she's coming to the ring the other day. Not the ring. I sent a little short video. I don't know, a little short video popped up. She's walking with her belt. She turns around and has the Jamaican flag on her ass, okay? So it's like this is a heavy topic. Now, here's the thing, right? Is Donald Trump, is anybody from the WWE, all these people talking about donating to Haiti and Jamaica and helping out and, Haiti or Jamaica? Did you hear that? Did you see them promoting that? No. So I don't think people of Jamaica really gives a shit that a Jamaican woman or half Jamaican or whatever she is walking around with a title in WWE. They have bigger problems. Okay? Her being champion right now might be bad timing for Jade. We don't know. I don't really care personally because I don't care about the WWE. Okay, but the news and the logic and the reasoning and the facts and the truth, that's what I'm about. So I don't mind talking about this because it's wrestling. But I the hell with them. I don't like what they do. Look at this guy, Ridge Holland, for example. This guy injured and he was out making no money. He started a GoFundMe. Chelsea Green donated. Omos donated. Well, the WWE talent that donated to the GoFundMe and made it known, they were told to stay out of Ridge Holland's affairs. They don't want them to donate. And when I tell you these people don't care, the thing is with you guys, I don't understand you. You sit here and you see these things. You read these passages. You see these tweets. You get the news, and somehow it just doesn't bother you. You don't understand. These people are scumbags. They do not care about you as a talent unless they're maximizing dollars off of you. They don't care about you. Now, if you becoming a big star is putting more money in their bank accounts, yeah, they will still do things the way they see fit. So until they screw it up or you screw it up, that's all they care about. They do not care about you once you're no longer a part of the WWE. And you telling me they have a problem with their talent supporting Ridge Holland while this man is recovering and not able to make any money. And they donate money and their talent is being told to withdraw. He don't want them involved in Ridge Holland's business. And this is a company that you guys, SummerSlam, WrestleMania, you're so adamant about trying to show support to this scumbag of a company. I lost all respect for them, man. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Okay. I saw some tweets where the WWE, they're liars, first of all. These people are liars. They're talking about replacing Vince McMahon's doing. They want to come up with their own pay-per-views. They want to come up with what they want as TKO and WWE now as a collective moving forward. Like, they may or may not change the name of WrestleMania because if it's a rich history, they might leave it. Who knows? They might change that to something else. They might change SummerSlam to something else. They might change Money in the Bank to something else. They may change well, I don't even know if they still do. I don't remember Survivor Series. Elimination Chamber, like the Elimination Chamber. They may change the names of it or how it's constructed. Who knows? But they sat here and talked about how they came up with their own, like how they invented WrestlePalooza. No, they didn't. WrestlePalooza is an old ECW pay-per-view. Facts. Look it up. That's not new. They stole that name, WrestlePalooza. This is what I mean. This is how confident they are, okay, and being able to create a big pool of stupidity. So each one of you can jump in this pool and drown in your own stupidity. They did not create that. Hell, if you notice, look at NXT, Halloween Havoc. That's WCW. Starrcade, that's all WCW stuff, man. They didn't, but they do this, and they want to pretty much erase all of what Vince McMahon has done. The hell with Vince McMahon too. I don't care about him either, but I'm saying they want to rebrand and put their thumbprint on everything. So I don't think they want to go with Vince McMahon guys. I don't think they want, so this is and Bruce Pritchard has been a Vince McMahon guy. So I don't think they want to use Bruce Pritchard. Now, yeah, Triple H is the son-in-law, but he's no blood ties with them. I told you guys, Stephanie McMahon wasn't going to have any say-so in the future, and neither was Shane McMahon. And Shane McMahon took that picture with Tony Khan, and everybody started speculating what was going to happen and making up all of these stories. And I can understand why people thought that, hey, man, he's probably going to show up. I get it. But at the end of the day, the McMahons have no power at all. Okay, they're the Lady Eloise of the WWE. Let that sink in. Some of you might get it. Okay, but they have no power. Triple H is only related through marriage. But to replace him, I don't know who they'd use, and I really don't care. A couple of months ago, you guys were saying The Rock was going to fire Triple H. Okay? I don't know who has the power to do what. And a lot of times, these, like this general manager shit, a lot of this is just fake names, fake positions, they're just on-screen positions. So I really don't know. But this company is greedy. And just changing someone that is just going to take the talent that they have there and with these weak storylines, and it'll just be fresh faces making the same screw-ups. And it'll just be somebody else to blame. Like, who will be the next person to help put the nail in the coffin, okay, and put the WWE in the ground? I don't know. And that's if that happens with Triple H. But it doesn't matter. I don't care what happens. I made this clear. I don't care what happens to them. I have no respect for them, man. You know, West Side Gun was thrown out. Did you see his story? You know, he make music for the artists, the wrestlers and stuff. He make music for. He did the We Hurt People for the Hurt Syndicate. He does a lot. He does the music for Fourth Rope Wrestling, where MVP is also the. He's the general manager there, and you know, he basically said he has no more ties with them. He will no longer support this one company that he's poured all his time, effort, and money into. He's front row seats. He's at all the big events, and he was removed. They kicked him out. See, they don't want anybody to be an entrepreneur and get so big to the point where I can work with people that they don't want you to work with. So when they can't tell you what to do, well, we'll remove you from your show. I mean, they got pissed off and was taking signs from the fans, would not let them hold signs up that had R-Truth's likeness on it. Now here's a guy in Ridge Holland because they released him. I told you guys, anytime a company says, okay, if you leave us, okay, you want to leave this company, 2-year no compete clause. That alone would make me say, the hell with the WWE. I'm good if I go to AEW, or I can stay on the independent circuit and still make money. The hell with that. No? They don't care how you feed your family. It's like, hey, we are the masters, you are the slave. You better think long and hard, okay? You leave us, 2-year no compete clause. And this is a company that cares about its talent? No, they don't. You see the Rhea Ripleys of the world, the Bianca Belairs, anybody who's relevant right now, when they're gone, you see how they're treated. You see the type of things that people say about them, right? I don't know, and I don't care who would replace Triple H. If they fall flat on their faces and fold as a company, I really don't care. They're scumbags, man. And why you guys can't see this is amazing to me. So you can sit up every week and complain about who they are and what they are. But what does that make you? That you're so in your feelings about this company, like, I just have to rant about them. No, this is not a rant at all. This is just basically giving you guys news and bringing awareness to these situations. So for this company to jack the prices up, Paul Heyman won't be able to talk them into dropping the prices. Let me explain something to y'all. And neither would Bruce Pritchard or nobody else, and neither is Triple H. Let me tell you guys something. How this is really simple. TKO says, this is what we want. This is what we expect. These are the numbers that we're trying to get, and you got to find a way to do this. And we need to get these numbers up. We need to get that merchandise sold. We need to get this up. We need to get that. That's what happens. So what's Paul Heyman going to do? Wiggle his fingers and make some magic and, okay, let me find a way to get Roman Reigns back into the top spot. Same wrestlers, same old recycled wrestlers. Oh, Kevin Owens is coming back, big whoopee. So what? When Seth Rollins is no longer injured and he comes, so what? Well, and what's going to happen? These are the same people we've been seeing. All of these 40-plus-something-year-old guys, look at who's holding the belt right now. This is downside WCW vibes all over again. It just, and it's weird because now, mind you, Booker T retired the champion, but I'm saying before Booker T got it, and they just kept, I mean, the Hogans with the belts and just the back and forth with the former WWE talent trying to be pushed up to the top and everything that was going on. It's like CM Punk has the. I looked at what he even had on the little short clip, and I'm just like, what the fuck is he wearing in the ring? Like, man, you know, it just feels like they don't even have a purpose for what they do. They just think, let's just put something together and put it out, and they're going to love it. No, even their freaking video game, man. I mean, if I was making video games, and this is not a piggyback, this is something I've said for years. I mean, years and years now. I would make, especially if I can afford and take my time and put these, I would have features on our game that the WWE don't have. Yeah, there's going to be match types that they have, but I'll invent my own match types. I will also have arenas, stadiums that we just create, different type of entrances. I mean, I would have so much, and you know what? I would send updates, different match type updates, paid DLC, you know, free stuff as well, and we would keep the game updated at least a good 6-7 years. This way, when we make a new version of this game, we got so much more to add, and we don't have to eliminate what we already have that made you love the game in the first place. No, instead of doing that, they give you a brand new, same old shit type game every year. So now that this island stuff, the format they have, that's what they're going to stick with now. So the next one will be another continuation of it, and they'll do this probably 4 or 5 games straight. And then when people start complaining enough, then they'll finally decide to switch and try to do something different. This is what they do. But my point is, look, here's how this works. If you had a game that wasn't annually, right? Now you get a chance more than to complete the game and not have to rush through it, okay? You have to work. You have kids. You're married or whatever. Now, kids have homework. They have curfews. Okay, you have the people that play games and work from home. They're the ones, if they're considered gamers, the ones that will not necessarily mean that doesn't mean that, you know, guarantee that they beat the game every year, but these are the people that's going to give you the most play overall. And what happens is this. 3 games later, you still haven't completed the first one or the second one to its entirety. And you're just basically giving up $140 every time for just a different little storyline. When we can add that, we can send the updates. We can add more stories to a game. And you can section this motherfucker off to where, hey, you know what, man? Now, we got this story, this story, this story, this story. So, what sounds better to you? You have 3 storylines, okay, on one game versus 3 different storylines, okay, that you paid for. A full $140 game to get a completely unlocked game. And even if you don't get the fully unlocked game, eventually you are. Then all of these custom packs that they have, yeah, and you're going to end up getting all these, okay, the Wyatt 6, let me go get the Undertaker pack, and you're going to end up paying more than $140. See, but they get you with this. And we would give a game, the whole point is caring about your audience and knowing, man, this stuff is expensive. And so, yeah, man, we're going to send these updates out. We're going to have a whole new storyline. And, hey, you can always go back and play whichever storyline you want. Now, if I got this game, a 7-year stretch, just say, you have 7 storylines all in one game. You have all these match types, all these different wrestlers that we added, right? So now the experience, you're going to have all those match types and whatever else that we can add that makes the game, you know, continue to be fun, different animations. I mean, everything, the customizations. And so now just think, just do the math. 7 years of spending $140 and more. Okay? 7 years. Versus spending whatever you're going to spend on this game that we give you, and you have 7 different storylines, tons of match types, a whole lot of different wrestlers, updated customization suites and all that, arenas, all this type of stuff. Hell, to build your own arena, that would be a beautiful touch right there, man. I mean, stop this corny shit. Instead of, why would I make you have to unlock wrestlers that you already had unlocked and then playing on last year's game? How about you have a situation where, hey man, we have other wrestling organizations within this game, and how about instead of unlocking, hey man, you can do, contract clauses, and hey, we want to draft this person over to here, we want to get this person by their contract, you can swap wrestlers and shit. How about make it feel like wrestling, and we can have fun with it. You have season mode. How about but these other companies are afraid to do this because they're scared that they can't compete. The fact that I don't care what I give you, if we gave you everything that Aries just said, it's still not going to work because it's not WWE. That's the fear that these guys have. And that's why they won't make it. And this is exactly freaking why you guys are still talking about, well, when Ultra Pro Wrestling come out, because they keep showing you, oh, another wrestler added. Okay, what about game type, match types? What about gameplay? Can we see something, right? The wrestling code. What happened? I can show you a video that I have saved into my playlist. There was 10 wrestling games that were supposed to come out. And out of those 10, the only games that came out wrestling-wise, I know for a fact, Fight Forever came out, of course, WWE's annual. WrestleQuest, which I don't like games like that. This, like a role playing type. I don't. That's not my style. We got Retromania. We got AAW. Okay. And yeah. What's the other one at the WWE Battlegrounds? What happened to all those other games that were supposed to come out? Right? And you see a trailer, oh, this looks good, this is going to be epic. And then all of a sudden you hear nothing about this game anymore. So you understand what I'm saying? We are in a position of, I don't know about you, but I'm in control of what I spend my money on. Nobody's going to make me buy anything. So for me, imagine going to a restaurant and somebody just throwing your food down and attitude, or taking their sweet time, just doing things that's just unprofessional, and it's starting to piss you off. You wouldn't eat there anymore. You go talk to the manager and complain away, but you wouldn't want to eat there anymore. But you guys take this abuse from the WWE and you don't see what they are. You don't see what they are. And I don't, this guy, Ridge Holland, there would be nothing that they could say to make this right. Other than, hey, you know what, man? We apologize. And you know what? We did release you. We are a super rich company. You know this. We'll help you with your payments, your medical stuff, and we just help you because, hey, man, you were here. And hey, I mean, you can consider this a fucking tax write-off. Whatever. Okay? Just saying. Something. You always want to sit here and talk about how Vince McMahon helped people. Like I explained that in the last video. Look at right now what's happening. The hell with Vince McMahon. This is a company. And you guys can't help Ridge Holland? And you're not even helping him. But the talent on your roster has donated to help him. And it's a problem. And you guys don't care? So like that doesn't turn you off? That doesn't open your eyes to what the WWE is all about? So, hey, this is who they are. And greed, you got to remember something. Like I said, rich people can afford a loss. They're not looking for it, but they have something else to fall back on. What about you? What you're going to cry like babies if the WWE shut down? You're going to act like your world is over? You guys waste too much time watching this product, then complaining about it, and overlooking all the wrong that they do to people. And when you live a certain way, your bullshit will come back to you. And when it does, well, if you're going to make excuses for these people, it doesn't change what the reality is. I mean, I saw, these tweets, and I'm sitting here just like, wow. And Chelsea Green put up her tweet about her donation and then took the tweet down. Yeah. All of them. They don't want them to keep the tweets up. They don't want anybody participating. Don't send him any money. Did you hear them talking about sending money to Haiti or Jamaica? Like I said, no. Everything is about money, greed. This company is disgusting, man. They are horrible people. See, you guys look at someone that becomes a superstar. Oh, if it wasn't for that person, like when it comes to Hogan, if it wasn't for Hogan, wrestling would have shut up. Hulk Hogan didn't do nothing by himself. Everything was his opponents as well. And he had a platform to do it on. And he had a platform way before he came to the WWE to do these same things on. And being that he was able to elevate, generate more attention through the WWE, and yeah, it worked hand in hand. It's a genre, and he's not the only one. He stole superstar Billy Graham's whole gimmick, but y'all overlooked that on purpose. But at the end of the day, it really comes down to the fact that these people, these companies are nothing without us. This is a fact. Because if we don't order pay-per-views, if we don't go out to the shows and support, they have nothing. Who's the audience? But you guys accept whatever they do. R-Truth is back to being an ass-kissing clown again. I told you guys, it all comes down to manipulation, what they can get away with, and pretty much, the fact that they know that you're gullible. There is no reason for this type of behavior, man. Yeah, and like I said, they're going to do all of this. Hell, well, if that's the case, they may wind up jacking their prices up. Maybe the next 2K26 would be $159 or something. Who knows? And you fools will be right there, wasting your money, buying this game, and don't let it turn out that the game like just sucks or something, because you fools will sit there and have your little asthma pumps and doing whatever other medications you're on because you're stressed out about this game, your little heart pressure pills or whatever. And this company, all they care about is counting this money. Listen at this right here, man. Unless Triple H, Bruce Pritchard, or anybody else get fed up with the wrestling business, if WWE closed down right now, Triple H is either going to pack his bag and find something else to do to generate money, probably work from home, so who knows, do something, but more than likely, they're just going to go and try to help invest into another wrestling company somewhere and do something to make some money. And once again, all you're doing is walking around looking for another brand to spend your money on, looking for some type of product to spend your money on. Hey, listen, we just want to give our money away. Which one of you is the right fit for us? That's pretty much what your role is. You guys just accept this type of stuff, but I don't. And I don't care what the company is. I can deal with a company that faces a downside, kind of go through a little slum, and they got to build back up and, get the creative juices flowing again. I can deal with that because it happens in wrestling. Always has a down period and an up period to where something is real hot for a moment, then it cools off and it's not quite as hot for a little bit, then it gets back up. That happens. Just like you in the football team you like. I mean, you have teams that haven't been in the playoffs in decades. You have teams that just can't get anything done. They can't get draft picks, and even if they get them, they don't have enough help, but you still watch. You understand? You still go out to these games. You still sit there and tune in just to watch them get beat every week. But so I can deal with that, okay? But I can't deal with racism, hatred, selfish manipulators, dictators. I can't deal with that shit. And, they show you this. They show you this. So when they tell you they love professional wrestling, how can you love professional wrestling and you don't even take care of the performers? Nobody's tuning in to watch Triple H. Nobody's tuning in to see Paul Heyman. Nobody's tuning in to see Nick Aldis. They're not tuning in to see none of these backstage personalities. And the people that go out there and perform just because you released him, so what? Help the guy out, man. Help the guy out. And since you don't want to, mind your business. So that means Anybody that wants to help this guy, who the hell are they to tell you that you can't help this guy? So it's just, don't post it on your own. Don't post it on your own Twitter, your own Instagram. Take it down. We don't want to see it. So they have someone monitoring your social media. And you think that this is a company that care about its performance? No, they only care about what they can get out of you. Once again, that's the same Vince McMahon mentality of, I am going to use you until you have nothing left. Simple. And let's stop acting like every time somebody went through something, Vince was just volunteering to help everybody. No, stop it. It's not like that. And all of these lying, ass-kissing people, bootlickers that want to tell you something is, this guy's this and he's that. Listen to this. When you say Vince McMahon loved competition, but he was trying his hardest to put WCW out of business. He didn't want Bret Hart to go to WCW. He didn't want any of those guys to go. So he made sure that on your way out, he wanted to make you look horrible. So by the time when you show up after your 90-day complete no compete clause, the last time we saw you on Raw or whatever, or SmackDown, you were getting the hell beat out of you by a wrestler that hasn't even really been established yet, or something to that effect, to make you look bad, so to slow your momentum down. And companies do that, but at the same time, what happens once they get there, and all of a sudden, man, this dude has traction. He's getting people to watch. Oh, now your 3-year contract is up, and hey, man, we love to have you back, and the whole thing is money with people. For me, I would rather take a pay cut and work where I feel like my job is more secure than to make more money and go sign with a company that I know cares nothing about me. As long as I'm healthy and I can perform, that's all they care about. But the second my body starts to break down and I don't feel the same, maybe my performance is not what it was, and hey, you know what? Now they want to use me to build somebody else up, then give me the X just to have me go and do what? Because once you ruin yourself, you can't go run to another company and they just build you back up. I mean, did you ever think, go ahead and lie, be honest, did you ever think when Julia came to the WWE, she was going to lose to Chelsea and in under 2 minutes on top of that? Just to have Julia tweet some little bull crap about how she's so angry and she's going to mess things up and all this stuff and whatever. Who cares, man? This is how they did Julia. You see, Mina Shirakawa has that dancing and funny, type of character and stuff like that. She's similar to Asuka in that way, somewhat. Not. I mean, they're different, but they're both like very animated. That's not Julia. Julia is more serious. I told you guys in the last video the same thing. Julia is just not WWE material. Just like Josh Alexander, because he can wrestle his ass off. But what he doesn't have is that charisma of, or that, let me go into acting mode. No, the WWE wouldn't even care about that. They just want you to go in there and just do some moves, but we want you to get on this microphone and just say a bunch of nothing. Josh Alexander is not a big talker, man, so, and he himself, he knows that his character itself isn't what the WWE looks for. But let's say Josh becomes champion and the fans are reacting to him. The WWE would want him. Why? He's a big-time player now in AEW. Let's see if we can persuade him to come over here just to take another piece off the chessboard. That's all. Not that they have big plans for him. I keep telling you guys, man. Look at, what's the guy's name? They with this El Americano, whatever the hell he called himself. I forgot his damn name. Ivy Niles guy. Look at his wrestling ability. What do they do with him? He's a goofball. He's the second coming of Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle used to, I'm so bad, I drink milk one day after the expiration date and all that kind of stupid stuff. And I'm so bad, I cut the do not remove under the label of penalty of law label on a mattress, and just, stuff like that. That's what they try to have Josh doing, being this little goofball that can wrestle, but his character doesn't, really sell. So It's what he does in the ring. So professional wrestling fans will appreciate Josh Alexander. The WWE fans don't, because they are all about this little dramatic Hollywood play type stuff. Therefore, why would Josh go there? And he made it known why he chose AEW over WWE. And this is why I tell people, you have to look at what's best for you. And the thing is, Tony can pay, AEW can pay their wrestlers the same or more than what the WWE can. And this is why, like some little hoes, they were all in their business. Oh, this is not good what AEW is doing. Why? Because they paid Swerve Strickland more money than you wanted to pay him. They paid Mercedes Moné more money, and 2 black wrestlers on top of that, right? And paid them more money than you were willing to pay them. And what did Dutch Mandel let come out of his little dusty mustache? Mercedes Moné is not worth the money that they're paying her. She's not that good. And no, because he was part of the lie that made you guys think that Mercedes Moné was turned down. No, she wasn't turned down. She was offered, and she chose AEW, and she made it clear. I chose AEW because I felt I needed to do what was best for my career, what was best for me. Yeah, not let me just jump ship to go to WWE because they're promising me things that, no. Bottom line, and you and everybody else, every one of you know, Mercedes Moné would not be doing half, not even close to what she's doing right now in AEW if she would have went to WWE. And she'd be an afterthought already. Because you see what they do to returning stars, right? Let's get a little momentum behind you, get you in a match. You slap somebody, put your finish on them, but they're going to beat you at WrestleMania, and we'll live off of what you've done in the past and stuff like that. And nothing is really going on. And this is like what I said. You can't make Roman Reigns a bigger star than what he already is. You can't, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, any of them. You can't, they're not going to become bigger than what they already are. So who is it that you want to pass the baton to, and they're going to be not just next in line to be champion, but they're going to be able to elevate WWE? There's nobody there. They don't know how to use Braun Breaker. They just don't know what to do. So therefore, I mean, you're going to try to get him a movie deal too? And let's be real. You get a movie deal, and let's say you become successful at it, where, now they have multi-movie deals, you're going to leave WWE. Why would you continue to beat your body up? You're preparing for movie roles. You're making way more money, and without having to beat your body up. Why would you? And you see the history. That's pretty much what happens. Now, if the movie stuff starts to slow down and things aren't happening for you, okay, then they may, hey, you know what, let me come back to WWE more full time. And, she's a Hollywood movie star. He this, he that. Look at Alexa Bliss. Look at everything that's happened, whether it's The Rock, John Cena, like all these people, once they get in a certain position, it's like, hey, you know what, man? I do miss wrestling every now and then. I might want to get back in there, but hey, shit, man. I'm still making millions of dollars with acting. I don't need wrestling. I don't have to continue to beat my body up. Another tasteless thing I saw on X was TKO. What's this guy? This Khan guy. He made a false advertisement. Everything I'm telling you, all you gotta do is go look at it if you haven't seen it. And he talked about, they teased the possible opponent, the last opponent for John Cena, right? And he talking about there's been a lot of great wrestlers. Who could it be? Why did they have pictures of Adam Copeland, Christian Cage? People that was once in WWE, as if you might see some surprise crossover. That's not happening. That's not happening. This was just to get you guys, I haven't seen Adam Copeland or Christian since the last pay-per-view. It's probably going to be one of them. They probably coming back and trying to stir up interest however they can. That's desperation, and it's dishonest. But you guys are sitting here crossing your fingers and, Lord, please let the WWE survive. Lord, please. You guys take this stuff way too serious. These people don't care about you, man. You need to save your money. You need to understand that these people are all about their business. They don't care about you. Like Donald Trump sat there and told people to their face, I don't care about you. I just want your vote. I just need your vote. I don't care. Yeah, he said this openly. Openly. To these people's faces. I don't care about you. I just need your vote. His first term, I could literally walk down the street with a loaded weapon and kill someone, and you guys would still vote for me. Isn't that what happened? So they pimp you guys. They don't care about how the hell you feel. So I don't care if they put that big fat walrus in there to replace Triple H. I don't care if it's Bruce Pritchard. I don't care who it is. It's going to be the same results. People tuning out, nothing changing for the better, because you got 260-plus-year-old outdated guys who you guys are living off of what they've done in the past. And let's not forget, you guys make fun of Eric Bischoff because WCW ended up being bought out by WWE for like $1.2 million or some shit like that. Because the new owners of TBS didn't want a wrestling show, and Vince lied to you about I single-handedly destroyed WCW, right? Well, let's not forget, ECW folded under Paul Heyman's leadership also. So, what's the difference? I mean, Jim Cornette, all these guys, they always talk about what's missing and what wrestling needs. But any company that they show up in, any promotion, there's nothing about their performance, nothing about their appearance, their existence that get anybody more motivated to watch the show. So it's easy to sit back and in your head think that if we do this, if they did that, it would work. You don't know that. This is a different generation in time, man. I want y'all to picture something in your head. Imagine the Ultimate Warrior running out to the ring, man. Just imagine this. His music hits, and he runs out there, and he's shaking the ropes, and he's pounding on his chest, and then he gets beat, by freaking Ray Phoenix. Huh? I want you to picture it. I want you to picture in your mind, Macho Man Randy Savage comes out there and he's doing his little gimmick and doing his thing and got the crowd engaged the way he's supposed to and all this. And all of a sudden, he's having like a 50-50 match, with like Rey Mysterio. Yeah, I want you to picture Andre the Giant coming out to the ring having a 50-50 match with Chad Gable. Because this is my point. The imbalance in the WWE is so obvious that it looks like it's blatant. Like, we don't care about ring psychology. If storylines don't have to make sense, which is what Triple H told you, right? Then neither does ring psychology. It's all an act. It means nothing. Which is why I give you these scenarios and I give you these analogies and these comparisons, like Hulk fighting Spider-Man in a 50-50 fight. Batman and Superman fighting in a 50-50 fight. It doesn't add up. And it's like stupid. How many times have we watched a horror movie? Right? How many times have we seen a scene where a woman comes out the shower? Now, once they show them big titties or something, that's the one who's going to die in horror movies, right? What happens? She's getting dressed, and all of a sudden she hears a noise outside. Who's there? Johnny, is that you? And then the broad will walk, open the door. What is she wearing? A robe, a gown. Johnny, it's not funny, asshole. Johnny, she'll open up and flash or something. You know what? Fuck you, Johnny, right? She heard a noise again, come out. Now she starts walking into the woods. Aren't you sitting there going, where's this bitch going? Why? You didn't walk like a half a mile in the woods with a towel. Johnny, just looking. Don't you say, this is so stupid. Okay. This is exactly the feeling that you get watching WWE now, doesn't it? How many times have you seen a situation where they're being chased by some unstoppable like monster or something, and they finally pick up. I've seen them run past weapons. Like, you are in a barn. There's a pitchfork right there. There's a shovel right there. And you just run. You don't pick up a weapon to fight with. Don't you think the producers would have said, hey, we got to move these tools, man, because it looks stupid? here this slasher is coming at you with a little knife, and you have a damn pitchfork, and you run right past it. Or what happens? How many times have we seen them grab a weapon, knock down the bad guy, and what's the first thing they do when they knock them down? Drop the weapon. What's the second stupid thing that they would do? Walk over, kneel down to see if it's still breathing. It's like, just please kill this person, right? Okay, it makes no sense. We know it's a movie. We know it's not real, right? But it's done so lame and sloppily. I mean, I seen a movie where a man was chopping wood. He heard something in the woods. And then you start hearing that little scary music and he, hello? Who's there? And what did he do? He takes the axe and he chops in the wood. He takes his flashlight and he's walking, looking with his flashlight. And I'm like, what? So you're just going to go with a flashlight, but you're going to leave the axe. Like, stupid things. And I feel like they do that purposely because that person is going to go and they want to make you get more engaged. That just kill him. So when the monster kills him, you're like, good, right? What's pro wrestling's excuse for doing this sloppy work that they do? What is the WWE's excuse for this? Like, I'll give you something that I think is stupid that AEW does. And it just makes no sense. And I know we all know it's not real. We all know this, but it's very stupid. This is the one thing AEW does. And it just feels so dumb because we know Roderick Strong and Marina Shafir are married. Why the hell is Marina Shafir cheating for Jon Moxley, attacking her husband, making him lose matches? They pay bills together. They take care of their child. That's her husband. But the on-screen character, do you understand? I always said, man, you should keep Roderick Strong away from Jon Moxley or put Marina Shafir in a situation where she tells Jon Moxley, look, if it's anybody else on this roster, I have your back. But Roderick's my husband. I'm not getting involved. How the fuck do you walk out, stand in the corner of another fucking man and watch him jump your husband? You help them jump your husband. You cheat for this guy to defeat your husband. It's just stupid. I'm like, Tony, come on, man. Like, seriously. You mean to tell me Darby Allin and Sting are super tight? Two people that only met, 6 years ago? Or whenever Sting came? But you're telling me that Marina Shafir and her husband are not on the same side? I never liked when storylines like that happen because it's stupid, man. Then they got that show with the guy who he interviews AEW wrestlers and he does little funny segments. And okay, so we didn't see Marina Shafir, their kid, and Roddy sitting there. They're a couple. They're married. Why put them in that situation? And this is what I'm saying. That is so stupid, man. That is so stupid. And that's why I said, man, when people talk about making things realistic, stuff like that should be on the top of your list. Why continue to do things like that? But that's me being honest about how I feel when I see certain things. That's just one thing right there that I just feel like that's just so dumb, man. It's like I told you a long time ago, man. We know that wrestlers, look, we saw the Iron Sheik. I was one of the people, me, my dad, and one of his buddies from his job. We saw the Iron Sheik and Hacksaw Jim Duggan together going into a hotel. And this was when they were supposed to be at war with each other and they're driving together, which is why they changed this thing of, nah, man, because it looks stupid. On screen, we just did a story where we're trying to kill each other and the fans are picking their sides. And of course, and now we're showing, we're driving together. Even the people at the hotel shouldn't see you guys together. So it's like, no, man, they're on the same show. Let them ride with somebody else that's on the same show. But you can't. only have the face ride with the face, the heels ride with the heels. That's how it should have been. It just looks so stupid. You understand what I mean? So when we are looking at making things more real, more believable, more, like I said, we all know it's a movie, but it's we know that this wrestling stuff is choreographed. It's not real. We know it, but it just looks so stupid, man. It just, when I see things like that happen. But at the same time, what I'm saying, there's always something that could have been done differently or something that could have been done better, even if it was a great show. I don't nitpick. But at the same time, I'm saying that's one of the things that I don't like when I see any company do that kind of stuff. It's just stupid to me, man. But yeah. But one thing I'll say about Tony Khan in AEW, what they're doing over there, man, is they have the best interest of their fans. Of course, it's a business. You got to make money. You can't stay afloat if you're not making money. But they're not over here overcharging people. They got both of their shows on Max, which is a great thing. Because let's think about this. If you want to see Saturday Night's Main Event, if you're a fan of that show and you don't have Peacock, you can't watch it. So if you got Netflix already, you can watch Raw, but you can't watch SmackDown. You got to have the CW, I think, for SmackDown or whatever. I think this is whatever, right? So to watch all the shows, you have to have a separate streaming app for SmackDown, NXT, and Raw, and Saturday Night's Main Event, and ESPN Plus. So that's 5 different streaming apps that you have to watch those 5 different things. All their pay-per-views and all and everything. 5 different streaming apps. So you're paying for Netflix, for Peacock, ESPN, the CW, and what's the other one? Whatever else app, but you're paying for 5 different streaming apps. So if you are a WWE fan, check what I mean, and that's your goal, that one of your things to do. Oh, I want to be able to see all WWE events. You're paying for all of that shit, and they're jacking prices up, at their PLEs as well, and even for SmackDown and Raw, they've jacked their prices up. And this is a company that you think care about its fans? Like I said, you can blame TKO, you can blame Triple H or whoever you want, but you got to blame yourselves for participating. It's like I told you, when you walk away from something, they're going to... Look, here's the deal. Either they're going to honor what your wishes are, and understand, man, everybody don't have the kind of money we have, man. We can't be stupid. We need to make our product affordable. No, it's because TKO is greedy and so is the WWE. Every fucking thing. It's like their goal is to try to break an attendance record everywhere they go. It's like they want to make you feel like if you're anybody at all, you'll be at their show. We got Post Malone over there. Look, Nicki Minaj is here. Doja Cat was here. Who cares? This is what they do. They're more focused on lining their pockets and just taking your money at all costs. That's what they do. I remember a clothing store I used to go in. Remember Echo Clothing? At one point, Echo was that brand that, hey, and people loved Echo. And I remember I would go there when I would go shopping. I would, pretty much buy a lot of stuff. And I go in there and one of the guys like, big dog, I just love taking your money, man. You are my best customer. And I looked at him and I said, yeah, sit your little skinny ass down till I need you. Then we would, and let me tell you what these motherfuckers used to do though. Let's say I go in there and I done spent like $300 worth of shit. They would give me at least $150 worth of free shit. Okay? That's appreciation. Like, yo, man, this dude coming here. So, yeah. And, Echo had his issues with whatever. And as a company, you don't see the Echo stores anymore. Maybe once in a while you might be in a mall somewhere and they may have a small little section of some Echo stuff there, maybe t-shirts or something, but nothing, maybe a belt, but nothing. I mean, they had their own shoes, had their caps, hoodies and all that. I don't see that variety anymore. I barely see any Echo at all. But I'm saying that was their way of showing appreciation to a customer that comes in there and spends money. I used to go in there $300, $450, $500 easily. And it just, everything comes to an end at some point. Or you come to an end before that thing ends. However it goes, it's just life, man. But what these guys are doing is disgusting. They're telling, it's honestly, I honestly think Triple H, Rhea Ripley, whoever, all the ones that you sit there and fantasize about and drool over and you're just a simp for them or whatever, I honestly feel like they could sit in a panel, Triple H, Rhea Ripley, whoever, Cody Rhodes, or I think they could sit there and say, listen, let's address the WWE fans. We care nothing about you. You guys are nothing but little bank accounts for us, okay? All we care about is that your dumbasses go and pay, okay? Pay us what we want. You buy all of our PLEs. You bring your stupid ass out. I don't care if your kid got a spelling bee or some major test coming up. You make sure your ass is here at Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. Make sure that you watch Evolve on Tubi for free, okay? Because at some point, if it grows, we're going to try to put that in a position where you have to pay to see that too. But you make sure, okay, that you give us what we want. We don't care about you. We're just like Donald Trump. We just want your money. We don't care about you, though. All right? This is WWE addressing its fans. I think you guys are still, oh my God, yo, did you see what Triple H said? Did you hear him? We got to talk about this. Okay, first of all, I think it's wrong because I grew up watching wrestling and me and my family used to sit around the TV and this is so wrong how they're treating us and they're forcing us to buy their merchandise and forcing us to spend more money on these streaming apps and all, and it's just not right. And I don't understand how, like, you're doing all of that, but you won't cut them off. These people don't care about you. See, what's more important than watching professional wrestling, football, boxing, a TV show, a cartoon, or whatever the hell is you feeding yourself and your family, you being able to stay afloat. They don't care about that. But you're so caught up into wanting to be a fan, wanting to be a little slave to the machine that you will sit here, spend your hard-earned money, and keep complaining about everything they do. But you continue to watch. And you don't even address the things that I'm addressing. And for those who do, you still watch it, don't you? Faithfully. And complain about it. Whoever, if Triple H does get the boot, whoever replaces Triple H is the blame if it doesn't go right and they can't pick up the pieces. It's not easy shoes to fill. Whatever happens and however it goes, I can care less. And professional wrestling doesn't end if the WWE fails. Just the WWE has failed. I don't know how high, what type of heights AEW can reach. I don't know. AEW and any other company who deal with fans that think that they're supposed to be doing things differently. They're supposed to have this sports entertainment mindset. They will never be able to get the interest of those people. So that's not their goal. So if professional wrestling is going to live, it's going to be because professional wrestling fans want professional wrestling. WWE fans don't know what they want. And so for them that don't care about pro wrestling and they just want a bunch of silly, goofy stories, well, that don't mean anything. And again, the same guy that told you guys, wrestling storylines don't have to make sense. Why do you guys keep making these stupid videos? Your videos become stupid because you know what to expect already. If you had a drug addict living in your house, would you just leave money around? If a drug addict is coming to you, hey, I get $20. I get, right? For what? I'm hungry. Okay, what you want to eat? Well, I was thinking about going down, to the burger joint down there. All right, let's go. Well, I got something to do first, and then, all right, well, when you're ready to go there, let me know. I don't sugarcoat it. I'll let you know. because I know you have a habit. I know you have problems, and I'm not going to help you put that poison in your system. Okay? I'm not putting money in your hand. You hungry? I'll help you eat. But when you're ready to eat, let me know. And we'll go down there, get your food, and yeah. But I'm not giving you money. Okay? Because I know better. Now I'm going to give him the money and then complain. This motherfucker went out and got high. That's what drug addicts do. And this is why I say I don't know what else the WWE has to do for you guys to wake up, but it's like it's just a trend. You guys love to complain, and you're saying all of these things. Look at these tweets. Pay attention to their actions. I don't know if you guys are just too immature to understand it. Like you're just not used to grown-up situations. You can't see through what's actually happening or what, but you guys make it seem like this is so hard to figure out and understand. These are very greedy, money-hungry people, and that's all they care about. They got Jews working for them. They're partnered up with they want to do business with Turkey al-Sheikh. So they're trying to deal with people that have money. Big money. And they talk about state-of-the-art equipment and technology. And that has nothing to do. None of that shit makes up for bad storytelling. None of that makes up for bad matches. I don't give a shit. Okay? We just get to see a trashy match with more contrast. Who cares? Who cares? Oh, full HD. I watched this bullshit in full HD. So what? It's trash, man. You know what was funny? My son saw CM Punk. He said, "Who's this old ass man with a belt? Like the fuck? Like he a wrestler?" And this is what he said. Is that a fan in the ring? Or I started laughing because we watching YouTube and I had a Chromecast on my TV, and he you know, I was watching on the Xbox, and yeah, I started laughing. It's what I'm telling you. And this was CM Punk, right? It's just like, yeah, these guys don't even look like wrestlers, man. They just and my son is aware of Logan Paul from this era. He like Logan Paul. He just fanned his hand and walked. Hey, that little clip shit. And then, you know, I was watching other things and stuff, man. But like, yeah, it is so apparent that they are very greedy people, and all they care about is taking your money. And look, like I said, because of the rich tradition of WrestleMania, they may not change the name of that, but they're trying to, that's their goal. One of their goals is to change everything that's Vince McMahon related. Because if they do that, I don't know as far as copyrights or whatever is related to it, but it's something that they want to erase clearly of what Vince McMahon has done. So if they can turn WrestleMania to something else, right? And it's successful, then they won't have a problem replacing the name WrestleMania, SummerSlam, you know, all these other pay-per-views that, you know, what was it? SummerSlam, WrestleMania, Survivor Series, the Royal Rumble. Yeah, that's another one. So anything that comes from the Vince McMahon era, that's what they're trying to do. They want to rename everything. They want to just get rid of any likeness of Vince McMahon. Y'all never thought y'all see this day, did y'all? But y'all was laughing y'all asses off and celebrating when y'all thought the WWE defeated WCW, right? Yeah, y'all was celebrating that. Like I asked y'all in the other video, is it still funny? Huh? Is it funny now? Yeah. But that's what greedy people do. And if you guys sit up here and you bitch about politicians and how greedy they are, how they don't care about what goes on in society, there's only a certain group of people that they're looking at ethnically and financially. Okay, well, WWE is affiliated heavily with Donald Trump, and he has a big influence in what they do. And this is why no matter what happens in countries that's populated with black people, you don't hear anybody talking about it. They don't care about it. They care about none of that stuff. We know what he's about, but you got a bunch of Donald Trump fans that'll sit up here and act like this dude is something amazing. And y'all still don't get it. So, yeah. And that's another reason, too, why Jade Cargill having the belt right now might just be bad timing for her. There's not much going on. And let me say this to make a point, too. I don't care where these guys go and what they do. But like when I said earlier, okay, in my last video, explain how Lash Legend made it to the main roster before Jordan Grace. Let me explain why I said that. Okay, I don't know them personally, and I'm not defending them or making excuses for them or coming at them or blaming them for nothing. And I'm talking about the performers. But this is why I said that. Let me explain. Because Lash Legend is not she's not fully polished yet. She's still green as well. Jordan Grace is fully polished. Jordan Grace should have been on that main roster actually before Stephanie Vaquer and Julia. Okay, or at least around the same time. Okay? But instead, they have Jordan Grace wasting valuable time wrestling against developmental wrestlers. Okay? This is what they're doing with Jordan Grace. She's far more polished than Lash Legend. Lash is bigger and she's physically stronger. She can do more in the power department, okay? And what did they do? They team her up with Nia Jax, right? I saw the clip. So, meanwhile, Jordan Grace, the Juggernaut, the former TNA Women's Knockout Champion, is on a show full of developmentals. But an actual rookie, okay, someone who's not a veteran yet, and Lash Legend is on the blue brand already. So, what are they going to be? Huh? A big ass team of women that's in here struggling to beat these little 115-pound skinny ass broads. I mean, you know, one of the things that make me laugh, man, is when I look at what's her name, Raquel. What's her name? Raquel Rodriguez. When I look at how big she is to these little tiny ass women, and I watch her and they're getting thrown around, it's like her resistance to punishment is so low. You know, you're up here, these women are here, their bodies is this wide, your body's this wide, and you're in there getting thrown around by these little tiny ass women. Once again, no ring psychology, no nothing. Okay, nothing. Just go in there and have a 50-50 match with these little ass women. Go in there and there's nothing going on that we care about. And I like there's nothing intriguing about it. In fact, I noticed when I'm sitting there looking at the clip, the crowd barely even responded to Lash Legend. I notice when I see the clips of Jordan Grace come out to the ring in NXT, they barely, it's like, what happened? Nobody has any momentum anymore. And the fans have seen them for a while now. So there is nothing else that they can do to wow these fans unless they have a serious character change where, and I'm talking like me, Mark Callister, Undertaker, like something that they can do where the fans are just drawn. And what is that going to be? What exactly is that going to be? And the fact that they don't really care about wrestling anymore and it's all about the entertainment side, yeah. They don't look at, you might go, imagine this. Stephanie Vaquer versus Jordan Grace at WrestleMania. They don't care. You know why? Because they're not looking for a hell of a match. They're looking to let them go just get in and wrestle, but it's more of a focus of, okay, point A brought us to the match. The match brought us to point B. Point B is going to lead to point C. To point D is going to lead us to another match. Whether it makes sense or not, this is the sequence of things happening, and they don't really care about the match. They don't. So you're looking for a great wrestling match in a company that only cares about storylines that don't make sense, but then you say, I don't care about wrestling, I only care about the storylines. So what are you expecting? Do you go to a Chinese restaurant looking for cheeseburgers? So you know they sell food, but that's not what they sell. So what I'm saying, you're expecting something. You're trying to find something to like because you don't like the stories. You don't like the thing that you normally look for. So we are at a point right now in society where people just accept what somebody does. They get bored, they move on, but they will continue to talk about what's the negative side of things because that's just what they are. And the truth is, there's not much positive to talk about, man, when it comes to the WWE. So people like, but wrestling, I don't think wrestling as a whole sucks. I feel like WWE sucks, and I feel like you guys expect everybody else to do the same things that they do. Take the smaller companies that don't have TV deals. You can't follow episode after episode unless they upload things into YouTube or something where you can watch every episode and stay up to what's happening. But like I said, I have too much that I have to do, man. I'm not sitting up here watching fucking 50 hours of wrestling a week, man. I work, I do things. You know what I mean? So yeah. And I know that if I miss something, if I miss AEW, I can go into Max and watch the replay of what I missed. Stuff like that. But it's not like I'm some fiend. I just gotta nah. It's one of the things that I really enjoy watching. That's all. But yeah, it doesn't make or break my life, man. There's too much that I indulge in, and I like to do things myself. I like that my fitness come before anybody else's. My health and things of that nature. I love my family, and we go out and do things, man. And that's life. That's what I do. I'm not like the rest of you sitting up here with the sad long face and acting like, you just found out that your wife just had sex with your brother or something like that. That's how y'all act. The way y'all talk sometimes, you like think something tragic happened. Oh, they mad because the WWE ratings are down. Oh, okay. Oh, he's pissed off because Raw sucked again for the 10 millionth time. Oh, okay. Yeah. Who cares, man? You're angry because the merchandise sells are dying. The hell, man. Grow up. But this is where they are. And trust me, greedy ass WWE are burying themselves. You WWE fans are burying yourselves in pity and stupidity. Let's be real. There is nothing, okay? Absolutely nothing that they offer you at WrestleMania, SummerSlam, or whatever other PLE that is worth 5 fucking figures, man. Nothing. Nothing. There is nothing that they're showing you on these streaming apps that's worth you paying for 5 different streaming apps just to see their programming. And this is why it was a boss move for AEW to be able to get both Dynamite and Collision on Max. And now, remember, their pay-per-views are on Prime. But now also, you can get their pay-per-views on Max as well. That's beautiful. Now, I already had Prime. I had Prime. I had Netflix before everything else. And then I had Prime, then Max, Disney, Tubi's free, and Peacock. I already had those, So imagine now, if I want to watch all this other stuff and I gotta I'm not paying extra money just to watch one program. You think I bought Peacock? You think I got that just so I can watch WWE? No, hell no. No, I already had Max. So all of these different things, it's like, all right, cool, no problem. Right? But imagine if all of a sudden now Dynamite moves to a different app, or and Collision moves to a different. So now I have to get 2 different streaming apps just to what? Hey, no, this is too much. Now the pay-per-view is on a whole other different app. No. So they were smart for working that out. See, but the crazy thing is, for every move that the WWE made, Bischoff, Zeb Coulter, all these different people made all this noise and ran their mouth. It's a smart move. It's a smart move. It's a smart move, right? Because they got the deal. But they're not looking at long term. If you remember way back when we got the announcement about AEW coming to Max, I said that's great that they're able to get both shows on the same streaming app, right? All people, but guess what? They don't have what was the other show they had? Rampage. I'm like, yeah, that's like, that's like Jim Cornette. That's like Bischoff. That's like all of them to sit there and talk trash about the negative side. Well, only negative side It's just the fact that we miss watching Rampage. But hell, if they can get Ring of Honor, okay, if they can get Ring of Honor a streaming deal, whether it's on Max, and hopefully if they do, it would be on Max. If it's because the reason is because look, unless it's like free on Tubi, because right now you can watch certain pay-per-views that Ring of Honor have for free on YouTube. This way, everything that's related to AEW, you can see right here on Max. I don't know what Ring of Honor's numbers are looking like. I don't know what the long-term plan, like how soon or later that it would happen. But when it does, however, but that would be their third show. Because with Rampage, that's 4. And none of you were really using common sense. Like I told you before, that's 4 goddamn shows, man. That's a lot of wrestling. That's right. That's 4 shows. So something had to give. Now, they could have got rid of Ring of Honor. Okay, just turned Ring of Honor to, and just kept Rampage. But it's like, what are you going to do with the Ring of Honor title and all that? No, he acquired the company. That's what people don't understand. So you got to sacrifice something, right? Okay, cool. They got rid of Rampage. No big deal. No big deal. So they kept Dynamite and they kept Collision. So it's obvious. Tony Khan, like he said, he has plans to do more things with Ring of Honor, but everything's about timing. I don't want to just take a deal and do something just because he's not stupid, man. He knows what he's doing. He's very calculated. So all this, but Tony Khan don't know. Yeah, I know. He's an owner, football team owner, all the success he has because you know more than he does about his own business. He doesn't know what he's doing, but you do. So all this stupid stuff that people say, I don't even focus on. I just feel like, from what the moves he made, like you said, when the time is right, you don't just rush because Eric Bischoff is saying something or Jim Cornette. No, that's not what it's about. The hell with them. You do things that's best for the company and that's going to work. And it would be great if they can get Ring of Honor also on AEW. On the AEW section of HBO Max. That would be beautiful. And especially since the Ring of Honor pay-per-views take place in the same building as whatever AEW's big pay-per-views would be. So yeah, and more eyes would be on what Ring of Honor is doing as well. And see, people are always trying to rush. And like I said, this is a 6-year-old company. So all of this hate and all of this trying to see their downfall simply for what? Like I've always said, what the fuck did anybody in AEW do to any of these so-called fans that they act like they hate these people, like they've done something that I hate them. I can't. And I remember this one asshole, and I hope you're one that watched this video too. I remember one asshole came in my comment section saying some shit about, I pray, this was his words, I pray for the day that WWE puts AEW out of business. And I told him, I can tell you don't get no pussy, because the fact that you sitting up here praying, first of all, a stupid motherfucker praying for something bad to happen to a company that does nothing but try to make to entertain their fans, give them their money's worth, and make things affordable for them. And this is a company owned by a multi-billionaire. Are you shitting me? And somehow you just don't want to see them survive. Wow. Yeah. I bet you feel real stupid right now when you see what's happening within WWE, right? So I look at all of that and I just say, hey, listen, what's going to happen is going to happen, man. And I like some of these videos, like this one, I made it long on purpose because I didn't feel like sitting here chopping this up to make 3, 4, 5 different videos. I put all of this in here, but yeah, in closing, I'll say, if it's any truth that, Triple H does get kicked out and he's replaced by whoever, I don't know. But if it's Paul Heyman or Bruce Pritchard, it's you're gonna get the same results. That initial boom of, all right, let's check in and see what's different, might get the ratings up. But after they start watching along, first of all, Paul Heyman will not be on the screen, so he'll be behind the scenes. He's the one putting things together. But look at who's who, and what does that do for his little group? You understand what I mean? So you got to understand, the younger audience is appealed more to someone closer to their age. Who would that be? But someone their age, the WWE might feel like, nah, this person isn't experienced enough to come up with ideas to carry these. Who knows? I don't know. But you know that. Picture Melly Mel writing a rap for somebody from this generation. You understand what I'm saying? You got some of these older guys that can still go, yeah, and they sound and they sound very, very good, right? Extremely good. Not a whole lot of them though, a handful of them. But you understand what I'm saying? Melly Mel appears to people in his age group. If Melly Mel wrote a song right now for somebody from this, they'll say because he sounds exactly the same now as he did then. So unless they can find a way to say these lines, you know what would happen? Even if they found if they said it the way they rap now, the terminology, calling people sucker, jive time turkeys and shit, they'd be like, what? Because he still talked like they did back in the early 80s, late 70s. That he still talked like that. His lingo, so you know what I mean? What the hell is Paul Heyman going to do? What is Bruce Pritchard going to do, or whoever? And like I said, Nick Aldis, Adam Pearce, whoever it is that people think may be the ones to step up and replace Triple H. So what? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Remember the video I did where I said, why don't Jim Cornette, Eric Bischoff, Vince Russo, right? Why don't all of them get together, right? Huh? Get some money behind them. See if they can get some investors behind them, and find one of these companies out here, unless they're going to create one from scratch, that they can buy out or something, and give it rebrand it and get some talent and show everybody how wrestling's supposed to be done. Because everything that they touch, they act like it's golden, when all of them have had their hands dipped in on something and nobody even pays attention to it. Where Paul Heyman has just been here in the WWE, but he does the same thing over and over. It's the same thing. So what is his backstage role? What's going to be so different about what his mindset is? And looking at the pool of talent that they have, and the fact that they don't know how to use big guys, they don't know how to use powerhouses, they don't know how to implement ring psychology where the match goes to where the fans on the edge of their seat. No, it's all 50-50 booking. What is he going to do? What is he going to do that's so exciting? That's what you guys don't get, man. And the worst thing he can do is continue to cater to this soft generation. What's the wrestler's name? The female wrestler, they used to come out she used to walk out like she's sleepy. That was her gimmick. And she'd have a pillow, and then she'd sit there and lay on her apron for a few seconds like she's sleeping and wake up, and stupid stuff like that. Remember, which one? The Anderson brothers. They used to stand there like he's retarded, and then when the bell rang, all of a sudden he, stuff. See, all that kind of dumb shit was leading up to the stupid stuff we see now. What is he going to do? What kind of characters are he going to create or reinvent? This is what you guys are not looking at. It's a different day and time. And the WWE may just be at a point where it just ran its course, that people are like, they were good way back when, but now not the same. And hey, man, just saying, I don't feel sorry for bullies, and I don't like the fact that you have a company, like I said, if Tony Khan or anybody was running around here showing racism, and I would say the hell with Tony Khan and AEW as well. I'm not like you guys. See, that's the thing. You guys with this pick a side stuff. No, I've just never. I told you guys this ever since I was a kid. I loved watching professional wrestling. But it was times I'm like, what the hell do you call this shit? Like, what is it? Because it just didn't feel like a sport. It's like they're in a ring, okay, they're wearing these weird clothes, but what the hell do you call it? But it was at the same time entertaining. But I never was like just, it's WWE. Like, no, they just had certain people, and they had a certain time where it was just a fun thing to watch. And all that stuff started changing, man. And to be honest with you, I started to lose interest more in the WWE not because of Bret Hart, but around the time when Bret Hart was reigning. And that's when they used to do that In Your House show and stuff. That's when I started to, the WWE just didn't feel the same. And that's when I started like really losing. I used to be watching Clash of the Champions, wrestling at 605 and stuff and all. And, I would watch and see what was going on, but I just wasn't into it, man. And leading right into the Attitude Era, same thing. I just never was able to really get back into it. Like, I was watching it, but the feeling it wasn't there. And like I said, China, I knew who Joni Laura was from bodybuilding. So I already knew who she was when I first saw her. It's like I knew who Nicole Bass was when they brought her in and all or whatever. But it just was like certain people in certain situations were, got my attention. Let's say it like that. But just as a whole, nah. They always had that because they always just would go overboard with something to just do something completely corny. But anyway, yeah, I'm just saying. So throughout the years, I've stayed in tune and got away from it, come back, get away from it, and it's always been like that because sometimes I sit there and I'm watching something like, what? Okay, and you just get away from it. Okay. That being said, y'all, I wanted to close this video about 20 minutes ago, and more stuff just keeps popping up in my head. But listen, greed, dishonesty, okay, and lack of compassion for human beings, racism, hatred, and spite, all of that is coming from people in the WWE. All of that. And I feel no remorse for nothing that happens to them. They're showing you how they feel about you. It's up to you to decide if you're stand-up men or women, or a bunch of little whiny, crying, complaining little girls and boys who expect something to happen because you pout and poke your bottom lip out. They don't care about any of that. That's all I got for you guys right now. Catch you guys on the next video.